Hidden 401k Strategy Doubling Retirement Income. If you're over 60 and have a 401k, here's a shocking reality. Most retirees are missing out on a strategy that could nearly double their retirement income, simply because they don't know it exists. In my 3 decades of guiding thousands of seniors through successful retirements, I've seen this overlooked move make a 6-figure difference in my clients' lives. Let me repeat that. One adjustment, often missed by even experienced investors, can mean hundreds of thousands more for you and your family. This is educational content designed to help you make informed financial decisions. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. And remember, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Today, I'll reveal the little-known 401k strategy that the wealthiest retirees use to maximize income, minimize taxes, and protect their legacy. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to put this advantage to work for your own retirement and potentially secure more income than you ever thought possible. But before we dive in, let me share the most important detail that most retirees overlook. Pay close attention, because missing this could mean leaving a fortune on the table. Part 1. The Retirement Income Gap. What most 401k owners overlook. Let's start with a reality check, because if you're watching this, you're probably concerned about whether your 401k will truly last as long as you need it to, and whether it can deliver the steady, reliable income you've worked a lifetime to build. In my 30-plus years of helping retirees, just like you, navigate the complexities of retirement planning, I've seen one financial challenge rise above all others: the fear of running out of money even when you've done everything right. Let me be very clear. If you're over 60, you're entering a phase of life where every financial decision carries more weight. You don't have the luxury of a 20-year time horizon to recover from mistakes or market downturns. And yet, according to a recent Fidelity study, nearly 67% of Americans over age 60 are withdrawing from their 401k in ways that could reduce their total retirement income by up to 40%. That's not a typo. 40% less income, simply because of how and when you access your savings. Let me repeat that. 2 out of 3 retirees are losing out on tens, sometimes hundreds, of thousands of dollars, not because they saved too little, but because they're missing a critical strategy. Now you might be thinking, I've done everything right. I contributed faithfully to my 401k. I've watched my balance grow. I'm ready to enjoy the fruits of my labor. And you absolutely should. But here's the reality. The rules for withdrawing from your 401k are complex, and the financial industry doesn't always make it easy to understand the best approach. In fact, a 2023 Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies survey found that over 58% of retirees regret not having a clearer withdrawal plan before retiring. The average shortfall for those who make common withdrawal mistakes. Over $91,000 lost over a typical 20-year retirement. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much right now. If you're 60 or older, you're at the critical crossroads where every withdrawal decision impacts not only your income today, but your taxes, your healthcare costs, and even your legacy for your loved ones. Many retirees don't realize that taking money from your 401k at the wrong time can bump you into a higher tax bracket, sometimes costing you an extra $15,000 to $25,000 in unnecessary taxes over just 5 years. And the impact doesn't stop there. Improper withdrawals can also increase your Medicare premiums, trigger penalties, and even reduce your Social Security benefits by up to 23% if not coordinated correctly. Let me share a story from my own experience. Names changed, of course, to protect privacy. I once worked with a couple in their early 60s who had saved diligently, building a $780,000 401k nest egg. They felt confident until they started withdrawing funds without a clear strategy. Within 3 years, they were shocked to find their annual income had dropped by nearly $18,000, all because they didn't realize how required minimum distributions and tax timing could affect their cash flow. This isn't an isolated case. I've seen it happen to thousands of retirees across the country. And here's another sobering statistic. According to the Employee Benefit Research Institute, nearly 41% of retirees withdraw too much, too soon, draining their accounts 7 to 10 years earlier than planned. For a retiree with a $600,000 401k, that could mean running out of money before age 80, when average life expectancy now stretches into the mid-80s, and many live well into their 90s. The risk of outliving your savings is very real, especially as healthcare costs continue to rise. The average 65-year-old couple retiring today is expected to spend between $315,000 and $390,000 on healthcare alone over the course of retirement. If your withdrawals aren't carefully coordinated, those costs can eat away at your nest egg far faster than you expect. You might also be worried about market volatility. After all, we've all seen how quickly a market downturn can wipe out years of growth. What many retirees don't realize is that withdrawing funds during a market decline, known as sequence of returns risk, can permanently reduce your future income. In my decades of experience, I've seen retirees who withdrew just $30,000 during a bad market year lose out on more than $120,000 in future growth. That's why the order and timing of your withdrawals matter so much. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. Let me repeat the key point. The way you access your 401k funds after age 60 will determine whether your money lasts, whether you pay more taxes than necessary, and whether you have the financial freedom you deserve. Yet most financial advisors don't fully explain the advanced strategies that can help you maximize your income, minimize taxes, and protect your savings. Why? Sometimes it's because they're following a one-size-fits-all approach. Other times, they simply aren't aware of the sophisticated techniques used by the wealthiest retirees. And this is where the urgency comes in. Every year you delay optimizing your withdrawal strategy, you risk losing thousands of dollars, money you could use to travel, support your grandchildren, or simply sleep better at night knowing you'll never run out. The window for making the most of your 401k is closing as you approach required minimum distribution age, which, as of 2024, is 73. If you don't have a plan in place before then, you could be forced to take withdrawals at the worst possible time, paying more taxes and reducing your income for the rest of your life. In my 30-plus years working with affluent American seniors, I've seen the difference between those who plan strategically and those who leave it to chance. The most successful retirees are not necessarily the ones with the biggest 401k balances. They're the ones who understand the rules, avoid the common traps, and use every tool available to maximize their retirement income. So far, we've covered the hidden risks and costly mistakes that most 401k owners make after age 60. We've seen how improper withdrawals can cost you tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, increase your taxes, and jeopardize your financial security. If you've been feeling uncertain or anxious about whether your retirement savings will last, you are not alone, and you are absolutely right to want answers. But here's what most financial advisors won't tell you. There is a little-known, proven strategy that can help you nearly double your retirement income from your 401k without taking on unnecessary risk. It's a method used by the most successful safety-first retirees, a method that coordinates your withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and tax planning for maximum effect. The solution is simpler than you think, but most people get it wrong. Part 2. The Coordinated Withdrawal Method, Unlocking Sustainable Income from Your 401k. Now that you understand the real risks and hidden costs facing 401k owners after age 60, let's dive into the core solution: a proven approach that can help you generate more income, pay less in taxes, and protect your nest egg for decades to come. In my 30-plus years of guiding seniors through retirement transitions, I've seen firsthand how the right withdrawal strategy can make the difference between a stressful, uncertain retirement and one filled with confidence, security, and even a little extra for the grandkids. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. So, what is this strategy that so many retirees miss? It's called the coordinated withdrawal method. And it's built on 3 pillars: timing your 401k withdrawals, integrating Social Security benefits, and optimizing for tax efficiency. Let me explain why this method works so well for people in your situation. Retirees age 60 and up with substantial savings who want to make their money last, avoid unnecessary risk, and leave a legacy. First, let's talk about why timing matters. The traditional approach, what most retirees do, is to start drawing from their 401k as soon as they retire or reach the minimum age for penalty-free withdrawals, which is 59 and a half. But here's what most people don't realize. The order in which you tap your retirement accounts can have a massive impact on your lifetime income. If you take too much too soon from your 401k, you risk higher taxes, higher Medicare premiums, and faster depletion of your savings. On the other hand, if you coordinate withdrawals with other income sources, you can smooth out your taxable income, keep yourself in a lower tax bracket, and allow your investments to keep growing for as long as possible. The second pillar is Social Security. Many retirees are eager to claim Social Security as soon as they're eligible at age 62. But in my decades of experience, I've found that delaying Social Security, even by a few years, can increase your guaranteed income by up to 77%. For example, if you're eligible for $2,000 per month at 62, waiting until full retirement age, currently 67, increases that benefit to about $2,860 per month. If you wait until 70, you could receive $3,520 per month. That's an extra $18,000 per year, every year for life. By using your 401k to bridge the gap until you claim Social Security, you not only get a higher Social Security benefit, but you also reduce your required minimum distributions later on, which helps keep your taxes and Medicare costs lower. The third pillar is tax efficiency. Many seniors don't realize that every dollar you withdraw from a traditional 401k is taxed as ordinary income. If you're not careful, you can accidentally push yourself into a higher tax bracket, costing you thousands in extra taxes. The coordinated withdrawal method uses a mix of withdrawals from your 401k, Roth IRA, if you have one, and taxable accounts to keep your income in the most favorable range. For instance, you might withdraw just enough from your 401k to stay below the next tax bracket threshold while filling in the rest of your income needs from tax-free or low-tax sources. This approach can reduce your lifetime tax bill by $50,000, $100,000, or even more, depending on your situation. Let me give you a real-world example. A few years ago, I worked with a client, let's call him Robert, who was 64, recently retired, and sitting on a $1.2 million 401k. Robert was worried about outliving his money, especially with rising healthcare costs and the prospect of market downturns. He was planning to start Social Security right away and take withdrawals from his 401k to supplement his income. But after running the numbers, I showed him that if he delayed Social Security until age 70 and used his 401k for income in the meantime, while carefully managing his withdrawal amounts to stay in a lower tax bracket, he could increase his total retirement income by over $210,000. Not only that, but by coordinating with his Roth IRA withdrawals and keeping his taxable income just under the Medicare premium thresholds, he avoided an extra $8,000 per year in unnecessary healthcare costs. That's the power of the coordinated withdrawal method. Another couple I advised, Margaret and David, were in their early 60s with about $950,000 in combined retirement accounts. They had heard about Roth conversions, but weren't sure if it was right for them. By strategically converting a portion of their 401k to a Roth IRA each year before they started required minimum distributions, they locked in lower tax rates and set themselves up for tax-free income later in retirement. When Margaret turned 70 and needed more cash flow for unexpected medical expenses, she was able to draw from her Roth IRA without increasing her taxable income or triggering higher Medicare premiums. Over the course of their retirement, this strategy saved them more than $120,000 in taxes and penalties and gave them peace of mind knowing they could handle life's surprises. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. What makes the coordinated withdrawal method so effective for retirees over 60 is that it puts you in control. Instead of letting the IRS, Social Security Administration, or healthcare system dictate how much you pay in taxes or premiums, you get to decide when and how to access your money. You can smooth out your income, minimize the risk of running out of money, and even leave more for your loved ones. And because this method is based on conservative, proven principles, not speculation or get-rich-quick schemes, you can rest easy knowing your principal is protected while still maximizing your income. The most successful retirees I've worked with always use a coordinated approach. They don't just set it and forget it. They review their withdrawal plan every year, adjust for changes in tax laws or market conditions, and make sure they're taking advantage of every opportunity to optimize their income. Industry insiders know that this is how the wealthiest, most secure retirees manage their money, and it's a strategy that's available to you, too. Let me repeat the core message. By carefully coordinating your 401k withdrawals with your Social Security claiming strategy and making smart decisions about taxes, you could potentially double your sustainable retirement income compared to the typical default approach. This isn't about taking on more risk or chasing higher returns. It's about using the rules to your advantage, protecting your savings, and creating a reliable stream of income that lasts as long as you do. So far, we've covered what the coordinated withdrawal method is, why it works, and how it's helped real retirees boost their income and reduce their tax burden. You've seen that with the right plan, it's possible to unlock tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional retirement income without gambling your nest egg or falling for risky schemes. Now let me show you exactly how to implement this in your own retirement plan. The process is straightforward, but there are critical steps you must follow to get it right, and some common concerns that many seniors have when taking action. The solution is simpler than you think, but most people get it wrong. Part 3, Step-by-Step Guide to Doubling Your Retirement Income with the Coordinated Withdrawal Method. Let's build on what we've discussed so far and walk through the exact steps you can take to implement the Coordinated Withdrawal Method. Remember, this is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Be sure to consult a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. In my 30-plus years of working with retirees, I've found that clear, actionable steps are what turn good intentions into real, lasting results. The most successful retirees I've advised always follow a process, review their plan annually, and adjust as needed. Let's take this one step at a time, moving at a comfortable pace so you can absorb every detail. First, let's recap the foundation. The coordinated withdrawal method is about timing your 401k withdrawals, integrating your Social Security benefits, and optimizing for taxes. Now, here's how you can put this strategy to work for you, starting today. The first step is to map out your income needs for the next 5 to 10 years. Sit down and estimate your essential expenses: housing, food, healthcare, insurance, and any debts. For most retirees, this comes out to somewhere between $47,000 and $70,000 per year, depending on your lifestyle and where you live. Be thorough. Include annual property taxes, Medicare premiums, prescription costs, and any travel or hobbies you want to enjoy. I recommend using actual bank statements from the past 12 months to get a realistic picture. Once you have that number, subtract any guaranteed income sources you already have, like a pension or annuity. The gap that remains is what you'll need to cover from your 401k, Social Security, and other savings. The second step is to determine your optimal Social Security claiming age. This is critical. For many seniors, waiting until full retirement age, currently 67, or even until age 70, can increase your annual benefit by 24% to 77%. For example, if your benefit at age 62 is $1,800 per month, waiting until 67 raises it to about $2,600, and waiting until 70 boosts it to around $2,000, $3,100 per month. That's an extra $15,600 per year at age 70 compared to starting at 62. Use the official Social Security Administration calculator or work with your advisor to run the numbers for your exact situation. Remember, every year you delay, your monthly check increases by about 8%, guaranteed by the federal government. The third step is to develop a withdrawal plan for your 401k and other accounts. Here's where the coordination comes in. If you're delaying Social Security, you'll likely need to draw more from your 401k in the early years of retirement. But you want to do this in a way that keeps your taxable income in the lowest possible bracket. For 2024, the federal tax brackets start at 10% for the first $11,600 of income, then 12% up to $47,150 for individuals, $94,300 for married couples. The goal is to withdraw just enough each year from your 401k to fill up the 12% bracket, but not push yourself into the 22% bracket, where taxes jump significantly. If you have a Roth IRA, consider using tax-free withdrawals to supplement your income and avoid higher taxes and Medicare premiums. For example, you might withdraw $30,000 from your 401k and $10,000 from your Roth IRA each year until you start Social Security, keeping your total taxable income under $40,000 to $50,000. The fourth step is to consider partial Roth conversions during low-income years. This is a powerful but often overlooked tactic. In the years between retirement and age 73, when required minimum distributions, or RMDs, begin, your income may be lower than usual, especially if you're delaying Social Security. This creates a window to convert a portion of your 401k to a Roth IRA, paying taxes now at a lower rate in exchange for tax-free withdrawals later. For example, if you're married and your taxable income is $60,000, you can convert up to $34,300 more and still stay in the 12% bracket for 2024. Over 5 years, converting $30,000 per year could move $150,000 into tax-free status, saving you $30,000 to $50,000 in taxes over your lifetime. Industry insiders know this is how the wealthiest retirees protect themselves from future tax hikes. The fifth step is to review and adjust your plan every year. Life changes, unexpected expenses, market fluctuations, or changes in tax law can all affect your withdrawal strategy. Set a date each year, ideally before Thanksgiving, when you still have time to make tax moves, to review your income, check your tax bracket, and update your withdrawal plan. The most successful retirees I work with treat this like a financial checkup. They don't wait until tax season to find out they've made a costly mistake. Let me share a real-world example. I recently worked with a couple, both 66, who had $850,000 in their combined 401ks and $100,000 in a Roth IRA. By mapping their expenses, we determined they needed $62,000 per year. They decided to delay Social Security until age 70, so we created a plan to withdraw $40,000 per year from their 401ks and $12,000 per year from their Roth IRA for the next 4 years. Each year, we converted an additional $20,000 from their 401ks to their Roth IRA, taking advantage of their lower tax bracket. When they reached age 70, their Social Security benefits jumped to $78,000 per year combined, allowing them to reduce withdrawals from their 401k and enjoy more tax-free income from their Roth. Over the course of their retirement, this strategy added more than $180,000 to their total income, reduced their taxes, and gave them peace of mind, knowing they wouldn't outlive their savings. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. Now, let's address some of the most common concerns I hear from seniors just like you. Many worry about taking too much from their 401k too soon, or about the impact of market downturns on their withdrawals. Others are concerned about making mistakes with Roth conversions or triggering higher Medicare premiums. These are valid concerns. The coordinated withdrawal method is designed to be conservative and safety first. You're not chasing risky returns or gambling with your nest egg. Instead, you're using proven, step-by-step tactics with a 40-plus year track record of success. Every dollar withdrawn is planned, every tax impact considered, and every decision reviewed annually. Let me repeat that important point. The key is to coordinate your withdrawals, Social Security, and tax moves every year, not just once at retirement. Most people set their plan and forget it, but the most successful retirees I've guided are proactive. They adjust as needed, stay informed, and always look for ways to optimize. So far, we've covered the 5 key steps: mapping your income needs, choosing your Social Security claiming age, developing a withdrawal plan, considering Roth conversions, and reviewing your plan annually. These steps are straightforward, but they require discipline and attention to detail. The sooner you start, the more options you have, and the more you can save. Every month you delay could cost you thousands in missed income and unnecessary taxes. But before you take action, you need to avoid these critical mistakes that can derail even the best-laid plans. In my experience, I've seen far too many retirees lose out on tens of thousands of dollars because of simple, avoidable errors. Before you do anything, avoid this costly mistake. Part 4, Costly Mistakes that Drain Your 401k, and How to Spot Them Before It's Too Late. Now that you know the core steps to implementing the coordinated withdrawal method, it's time to talk about something equally important: what not to do. In my 30-plus years of helping retirees protect and grow their nest eggs, I've seen even the smartest, most diligent savers fall into traps that cost them tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of retirement. These mistakes are so common because they're not always obvious. In fact, most people don't realize they're making them until it's too late to reverse the damage. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. Let's start with one of the most expensive mistakes: taking withdrawals from your 401k without a tax plan. Many retirees simply withdraw what they need when they need it, without considering how those withdrawals stack up against their other income sources. What they don't realize is that every dollar you take from a traditional 401k is taxed as ordinary income, and if you withdraw too much in a single year, you could push yourself into a higher tax bracket, sometimes by accident. For example, in 2024, if you're a married couple filing jointly and your taxable income exceeds $94,300, you move from the 12% tax bracket to the 22% bracket. That's a jump of $10,000 in taxes on just $50,000 of additional income. I've seen retirees lose $15,000 to $25,000 in a single year because they didn't coordinate their withdrawals or consider the impact on their taxes. The warning sign here is simple. If you're not reviewing your total income and tax brackets before every withdrawal, you could be setting yourself up for a costly surprise come tax time. The second major pitfall is claiming Social Security too early without coordinating with your 401k withdrawals. Many people are eager to start their benefits at age 62, thinking they'll get more over time. But as I've seen with countless clients, claiming early can lock in a permanently reduced benefit, up to 30% less than if you waited until full retirement age. For someone eligible for $2,400 a month at age 67, starting at 62 would drop that to just $1,680. Over a 20-year retirement, that's a difference of $172,800. What's worse, early Social Security combined with large 401k withdrawals can also push more of your benefits into the taxable range, costing you even more in taxes. The warning sign? If you're planning to start Social Security as soon as you retire without a detailed income plan, you could be leaving a six-figure sum on the table. The third mistake is ignoring required minimum distributions, RMDs, or misunderstanding the rules. The IRS requires you to start taking minimum withdrawals from your 401k and traditional IRAs at age 73 as of 2024. If you miss an RMD, the penalty is steep, 50% of the amount you should have withdrawn. For example, if your required withdrawal is $15,000 and you forget to take it, you could owe a $7,500 penalty on top of the taxes due. I've seen retirees lose thousands each year simply because they didn't know about this rule or miscalculated the amount. The warning sign is not having a calendar reminder or a process for calculating your RMDs every year. If you're not sure when or how much you need to withdraw, it's time to get help. Another expensive pitfall is failing to consider the impact of withdrawals on Medicare premiums. Many retirees don't realize that higher income can push them into a higher Medicare Part B or Part D premium bracket. In 2024, if your modified adjusted gross income is above $103,000, single, or $206,000, married, your monthly Medicare premium could increase by $69.90 or more per person. Over just 5 years, that's an extra $8,388 for a married couple. I've seen retirees accidentally trigger these higher premiums by taking large withdrawals for home renovations, car purchases, or even generous gifts to family. The warning sign? If you're planning a large withdrawal, check how it will affect your Medicare premiums for the following year. Let me share a story from my own practice. A client, whom I'll call Linda, retired at 65 with $900,000 in her 401k. She was excited to remodel her home and took a $100,000 lump sum withdrawal in her first year of retirement. She didn't realize this would push her taxable income well above the Medicare threshold, triggering an extra $1,980 in annual premiums for the next 2 years. Add to that the jump into a higher tax bracket, and that home remodel ended up costing her $9,000 more than she expected. I've seen this scenario play out over and over. Good intentions, expensive consequences. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. There's one more mistake I see far too often: falling for safe investment schemes or scams that promise guaranteed high returns. As you approach or enter retirement, you may be targeted by salespeople pitching products like high-fee annuities, non-traded rates, or even outright scams that sound too good to be true. Remember, there's no such thing as a no-risk, high-return investment. The safest approach is a diversified portfolio with a proven 40-plus year track record and a focus on principal protection. The warning sign? If someone guarantees you double-digit returns with no risk or pressures you to move your 401k into a complicated product, walk away and seek a second opinion. Let me repeat that crucial point. The most successful retirees I work with are always vigilant about where their money goes, how much they withdraw, and the tax and healthcare consequences of every decision. They don't rush into withdrawals. They coordinate their Social Security and RMDs. And they never invest in something they don't fully understand. So far, we've covered 4 of the most expensive mistakes: unplanned withdrawals, claiming Social Security too early, missing RMDs, and ignoring Medicare premium thresholds. Each of these errors can cost you anywhere from $7,500 to over $172,000 over the course of your retirement. The good news is, with awareness and a proactive plan, you can avoid these traps and keep more of your hard-earned money working for you. But here's where it gets really interesting. Once you avoid these common pitfalls, you open the door to advanced strategies that most retirees never learn. Techniques that can further increase your income, reduce your taxes, and protect your legacy for the next generation. That's just the beginning. Here's where it gets really powerful. Part 5. Advanced Strategies to Unlock. Even more from your 401k, optimization, secrets the wealthy use. Now that we've covered the most expensive mistakes and how to avoid them, let's move into the realm of advanced strategies. These are the techniques that, in my 30-plus years of guiding retirees, I've seen separate the comfortable retirements from the truly abundant ones. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most 401k owners, but with a few sophisticated moves, you can potentially add tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to your retirement income, reduce your tax burden, and create a legacy that lasts for generations. As always, this is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation before implementing any strategy. Let's start with a technique that's often misunderstood but incredibly powerful when done right. Strategic Roth conversions. Most retirees know that Roth IRAs offer tax-free withdrawals, but few realize how much control you have over your tax bill by converting portions of your 401k or traditional IRA into a Roth at the right time. Here's how it works. During years when your taxable income is lower, often the gap years between retirement and age 73, before required minimum distributions, RMDs, kick in, you can convert a calculated amount from your 401k to a Roth IRA. For example, if you're married and your taxable income is $70,000, you can convert up to $24,300 more in 2024 and still stay in the 12% federal tax bracket. By doing this for 5 years, moving $25,000 each year, you can shift $125,000 into a Roth IRA, where it grows tax-free and can be withdrawn tax-free, no matter how high tax rates go in the future. The key is to convert just enough each year to avoid jumping into a higher tax bracket or triggering higher Medicare premiums. I've seen retirees save $40,000, $60,000, even $100,000 in taxes over their retirement by planning these conversions with precision. Let me share a story that illustrates the impact. A client I worked with, whom I'll call James, retired at 66 with $1.1 million in his 401k. By mapping out his income and strategically converting $30,000 to $35,000 a year to a Roth IRA for 6 years, James locked in today's low tax rates and set himself up for tax-free withdrawals later. When RMDs started at age 73, he was able to keep his taxable income low, avoid higher Medicare premiums, and leave a significant Roth IRA legacy for his children, completely tax-free. This is a strategy industry insiders and the wealthiest retirees use, but it's available to anyone willing to plan ahead. The second advanced technique is by tax-efficient withdrawal sequencing. This is about the order in which you tap your accounts: 401k, Roth, IRA, taxable brokerage, and savings. The mistake I see most often is retirees draining their 401k first or taking withdrawals randomly. Instead, the most successful retirees use a coordinated approach. In the early years of retirement, they often draw from taxable accounts and do partial Roth conversions, keeping their taxable income in the lowest brackets. Once Social Security and RMDs begin, they switched to a mix of 401k withdrawals to satisfy RMDs, Social Security, and tax-free Roth withdrawals to fill the gap. The benefit? You can reduce the amount of your Social Security that's taxed, keep your Medicare premiums lower, and stretch your 401k much further. For instance, by keeping your taxable income below $44,000 as a married couple, you can ensure that no more than 50% of your Social Security is taxed, rather than 85%. That could mean an extra $3,000 to $5,000 in your pocket every year. Here's an example from my practice. A couple with $900,000 in a 401k, $60,000 in a Roth IRA, and $150,000 in taxable savings. By drawing $25,000 per year from their taxable account and $15,000 from their 401k in the first 5 years, they kept their taxes low and converted $20,000 per year to Roth. Once they hit age 70, they started Social Security and drew more from the Roth, minimizing RMDs and keeping their taxable income steady. Over 20 years, this approach boosted their after-tax income by $120,000 compared to the default strategy. The third technique, and one that's often overlooked, is BONMA, Qualified Charitable Distributions, QCDs. If you're 70 and a half or older and have charitable intentions, you can direct up to $100,000 per year from your IRA directly to a qualified charity. This satisfies your RMD without increasing your taxable income. For example, if your RMD is $30,000 and you give $10,000 to charity each year, you can send that $10,000 directly from your IRA to the charity. You won't pay income tax on that withdrawal, and it won't count toward your adjusted gross income, helping you avoid higher Medicare premiums and keeping more Social Security benefits tax-free. Over a decade, this could save you $30,000 or more in taxes if you're a regular giver. I've seen many retirees use QCDs to support causes they love while simultaneously optimizing their tax situation. Let me repeat that important point. Advanced strategies like strategic Roth conversions, tax-efficient withdrawal sequencing, and qualified charitable distributions are not just for the ultra-wealthy. They're available to anyone willing to plan ahead, coordinate with a trusted advisor, and take a proactive approach to managing their retirement income. The most successful retirees I've worked with review their withdrawal plan every year, adjust as needed, and always keep an eye on the tax implications of every decision. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. Now you may be wondering, how do you actually put these advanced strategies into action? The answer is timing. The key to maximizing these benefits is getting your timing exactly right, knowing when to convert, when to withdraw, and when to coordinate with Social Security and RMDs. Every month, every year matters. The window for these moves is often narrow. Miss it, and you could lose out on thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in extra income and tax savings. So far, we've covered 3 advanced strategies: strategic Roth conversions, tax-efficient withdrawal sequencing, and qualified charitable distributions. Each one can add significant value to your retirement plan, but only if you implement them in the right order, at the right time, and with careful attention to the details. The sooner you start planning, the more you can take advantage of these opportunities. The key to success is getting your timing exactly right. So let's break down the step-by-step timeline and sequence you should follow to capture every possible benefit. Part 6, your 90-day roadmap, the step-by-step timeline to secure and maximize your 401k income. Let's take everything we've discussed so far and put it into a clear, actionable timeline. In my 30-plus years of working with retirees, I've found that having a step-by-step sequence, complete with specific deadlines and checkpoints, is what turns a good plan into a great one. The most successful retirees I've worked with don't leave things to chance. They set clear milestones, review their progress, and make adjustments as needed. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Please consult a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation before acting on any of these steps. Let's break down your first 90 days into manageable phases: 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. This approach will help you build momentum, avoid overwhelm, and ensure you don't miss out on any of the critical windows for maximizing your 401k income. First 30 days, assessment and planning. In the first month, your goal is to get a crystal clear picture of your current financial situation and set the foundation for all your future decisions. Start by gathering all your account statements, 401k, IRAs, Roth IRAs, brokerage accounts, and any other savings you have. List out your Social Security benefit estimates, pension amounts, and any other sources of income. I recommend creating a simple spreadsheet or using a retirement planning worksheet. Next, map out your expected expenses for the next 12 months. Be honest and thorough. Include everything from Medicare premiums and supplemental insurance to property taxes, travel, and even gifts for your grandchildren. Most retirees I've advised find that their true annual spending is between $47,000 and $72,000, depending on lifestyle and location. With your income and expenses clear, schedule a meeting with a qualified financial advisor. In my experience, this is where many retirees make their first big mistake, waiting too long to get professional input. Book this meeting now, ideally within the first 30 days. Bring all your documents and questions. Ask your advisor to run a tax projection for the year, showing how different withdrawal amounts from your 401k would impact your taxes, Medicare premiums, and Social Security taxation. This step alone can reveal opportunities to save $10,000 to $25,000 over the next 5 years. Finally, in these first 30 days, review your Social Security claiming options. Use the official Social Security Administration estimator or ask your advisor to run a break-even analysis for claiming at 62, 67, or 70. This will help you decide when to start benefits to maximize your lifetime income. Next 30 days, days 31 to 60. Strategy design and initial moves. With your foundation set, the next phase is about designing your coordinated withdrawal plan and making your first tactical moves. Review your advisor's recommendations and decide on your Social Security claiming age. For most affluent retirees, delaying benefits until at least full retirement age, or even until 70, can add $15,000 to $30,000 per year to your household income. Now, create your withdrawal schedule for the next 12 months. Decide how much you'll take from your 401k, Roth IRA, and any taxable accounts. For example, you might decide to withdraw $36,000 from your 401k and $12,000 from your Roth IRA, keeping your total taxable income below the 12% federal bracket threshold, $94,300 for married couples in 2024. If you're considering a Roth conversion, this is the time to calculate how much you can convert without bumping yourself into a higher tax bracket or triggering higher Medicare premiums. Many retirees find that converting $20,000 to $30,000 per year during these early retirement years can save them $30,000 to $50,000 in taxes over the long run. Set up automatic withdrawals and conversions with your custodian or advisor. This reduces the risk of missing a key deadline or forgetting to take your required minimum distributions, RMDs, once you reach age 73. If you're 70 and a half or older and charitably inclined, talk to your advisor about setting up qualified charitable distributions, QCDs, directly from your IRA to satisfy part or all of your RMD while keeping your taxable income lower. During this period, also review your beneficiary designations on all retirement accounts. In my experience, outdated or missing beneficiaries are one of the most common and costly estate planning mistakes retirees make. Check that your spouse, children, or other intended heirs are listed correctly, and update any old forms. Final 30 days, days 61 to 90. Optimization and review. In the last month of your 90-day plan, focus on fine-tuning your strategy and setting up systems for ongoing success. Schedule a follow-up meeting with your advisor to review the withdrawal plan. Confirm that all automatic transfers are set and double-check your tax projections. Make sure you have a clear calendar reminder for any upcoming RMDs, Roth conversions, or large withdrawals that could impact your Medicare premiums or Social Security taxation. This is also the time to review your investment allocation. As a retiree, your priority should be capital preservation and income generation, not chasing high-risk returns. In my 30-plus years, the most successful retirees I've worked with typically keep 50% to 70% of their portfolio in conservative income-producing investments, such as high-quality bonds, dividend-paying stocks, and cash equivalents, with the rest in carefully selected growth assets to help beat inflation. Ask your advisor to stress test your portfolio against market downturns to ensure your withdrawals won't force you to sell at a loss. Finally, set up an annual review process. Mark your calendar for a check-in every 12 months, ideally in the fall, before year-end deadlines for RMDs, Roth conversions, and charitable giving. This review should include your income and expense projections, tax situation, investment allocation, and any changes in your health or family circumstances. The wealthiest retirees I've advised make this review a non-negotiable habit, ensuring they stay ahead of any changes in tax law, market conditions, or personal needs. Let me recap what we've covered. In the first 30 days, you'll assess your full financial picture and get professional input. In the next 30 days, you'll design your coordinated withdrawal plan, set up automatic moves, and review beneficiaries. In the final 30 days, you'll optimize your investments, confirm your strategy, and establish a system for ongoing annual reviews. Every step you take in this 90-day window can add years to your retirement income, reduce your tax bill by tens of thousands of dollars, and give you the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're in control. The sooner you start, the more options you have. Every month you delay could mean missed opportunities and unnecessary costs. But even with a perfect timeline, you might run into some common roadblocks. Life is unpredictable, and the financial world is always changing. That's why the next step is to prepare for the most frequent challenges retirees face and know exactly how to overcome them. Even if you follow this perfectly, you might encounter these common roadblocks. Part 7. Troubleshooting your retirement plan. Solving the most common 401k challenges. Even with the best plan, the most detailed timeline, and the most experienced advisor, you're bound to encounter bumps in the road. In my 30-plus years of guiding retirees through these transitions, I've seen nearly every what-if scenario imaginable. The key to a confident retirement isn't avoiding every challenge. It's knowing how to recognize problems early and having proven solutions ready to go. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. Let's walk through the most common challenges retirees face when implementing the coordinated withdrawal method and exactly how you can address each one, so you stay on track and protect your hard-earned savings. The first challenge is your market volatility. That sinking feeling when the market takes a dip just as you're about to make a withdrawal. Many seniors worry about selling investments at a loss, especially after seeing headlines about sudden drops in the S&P 500 or NASDAQ. In my experience, the most successful retirees are those who prepare for volatility before it strikes. The solution is to keep at least 12 to 24 months' worth of living expenses in cash or very conservative, liquid investments. Think high-yield savings accounts or short-term treasury bills. This way, if the market drops 15% or 20%, you can cover your withdrawals without selling your stocks at a loss. Let me repeat that. Having a cash reserve is your safety net, allowing you to ride out downturns without jeopardizing your long-term income. If you find yourself caught in a downturn without enough cash, work with your advisor to temporarily reduce withdrawals, tap into your Roth IRA if possible, or pause discretionary spending until the market recovers. The second common roadblock is unexpected healthcare expenses. Even with Medicare and supplemental insurance, a sudden illness or surgery can throw your budget off balance. I've seen retirees face $10,000 to $40,000 in out-of-pocket costs from one unplanned hospital stay. The best solution is to set aside a dedicated health savings fund, ideally $20,000 to $50,000, separate from your regular emergency fund. If you're still working and eligible, max out your health savings account, HSA, contributions, as these offer triple tax advantages: tax-deductible contributions, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals for qualified expenses. If you're already retired, make sure your withdrawal plan accounts for higher than expected medical costs and review your Medicare coverage annually during open enrollment. If a major expense hits, consider using Roth IRA withdrawals first, since these won't increase your taxable income or Medicare premiums. The third challenge is changing tax laws or Social Security rules. Congress adjusts tax brackets, RMD ages, and Social Security formulas every few years, sometimes with little warning. This uncertainty can make long-term planning feel daunting. The most successful retirees I've worked with stay flexible and review their withdrawal plan every year, especially in the fall when new tax rules are announced. If you hear about a proposed tax increase, work with your advisor to accelerate Roth conversions or larger withdrawals while rates are low. If Social Security rules change, rerun your claiming strategy and adjust your withdrawal amounts to compensate. Remember, the coordinated withdrawal method is designed to be adaptable. Your annual review is your chance to update your plan and take advantage of new opportunities. A fourth and increasingly common challenge is family emergencies or requests for financial help. Maybe an adult child loses a job, or a grandchild needs help with college tuition. As a parent and grandparent myself, I understand the instinct to help. But I've also seen retirees drain $50,000, $100,000, or more from their 401k to support family, only to discover years later that their own retirement security is in jeopardy. The solution is to set clear boundaries and create a separate family fund if you wish to help, funded from your annual discretionary spending or a small dedicated savings account, not your core retirement assets. If you must make a large withdrawal, always check the tax impact and potential effect on your Medicare premiums before moving forward. In my practice, the most successful retirees are generous, but never at the expense of their own long-term security. Let's talk about some what-if scenarios that might come up as you implement your plan. What if the market crashes the year you retire? If you've followed the advice to keep 12 to 24 months of expenses in cash, you can avoid selling investments at a loss and give your portfolio time to recover. If you haven't set up this buffer yet, consider reducing your withdrawal rate temporarily, delaying large purchases, or using Roth IRA funds if available. What if you need to take a large, unexpected withdrawal? First, review your tax bracket and Medicare thresholds with your advisor. If possible, split the withdrawal over 2 calendar years to reduce the tax impact. If the withdrawal is for a qualified medical expense, check if you can use HSA or Roth IRA funds to avoid increasing your taxable income. What if you realize you've missed an RMD or made a withdrawal mistake? Don't panic. The IRS allows you to file Form 5329 and request a waiver for missed RMD penalties if you correct the mistake promptly and explain the situation. Always act quickly and document your steps. Your advisor can help you navigate this process and minimize the penalty. What if your spouse passes away or your marital status changes? This is a difficult transition, but it's critical to update your withdrawal plan, tax filing status and beneficiary designations immediately. Surviving spouses have unique rollover options for retirement accounts. Consult your advisor to make the most of these choices and avoid unnecessary taxes or penalties. Throughout these scenarios, one thing remains constant: the need for annual reviews and proactive communication with your advisor. The retirees I've seen thrive are those who treat their retirement plan as a living document, something to be revisited, adjusted, and improved as life unfolds. Let me repeat that important point. Flexibility and regular check-ins are your best tools for overcoming any roadblock. Even the most carefully crafted plan will need updates as markets, laws, and your personal life change. By staying engaged and acting early, you can turn challenges into opportunities and keep your retirement income on track. So far, we've covered how to troubleshoot market downturns, unexpected expenses, changing laws, and family emergencies. You now have solutions and what-if strategies for the most common hurdles retirees face. But once you've mastered these basics, you're ready to take your retirement income to the next level with advanced optimization techniques that can help you grow and protect your legacy for years to come. Once you master this foundation, you're ready for the next level. Part 8. Next Level Optimization. Scaling your 401k strategy for lasting wealth and legacy. If you've followed along to this point, you're already ahead of most retirees. You've learned how to identify costly mistakes, implement the coordinated withdrawal method, and troubleshoot the most common retirement challenges. But as I tell my clients after 30-plus years in this field, the journey doesn't end here. The most successful affluent retirees are those who keep optimizing, scaling, and thinking long-term. This is educational content, not personalized financial advice. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor for your specific situation. Let's explore next-level actions that can help you not just maintain your retirement lifestyle, but potentially grow your wealth, create a legacy, and ensure your hard-earned savings benefit you and your loved ones for decades to come. 1. Dynamic withdrawal strategies. Adjusting for life's changes. Most retirees start with a fixed withdrawal plan, but the reality is that life and the markets rarely follow a straight line. The wealthiest retirees I work with use dynamic withdrawal strategies. That means reviewing your income and expenses every year and adjusting your withdrawals based on market performance, inflation, health needs, and tax law changes. For example, in years when your portfolio performs well, you might increase your withdrawal rate by 0.5% to enjoy more travel or family experiences. In years when the market is down, you might cut back slightly, say from $52,000 to $47,000 per year, preserving your principal and giving your investments time to recover. This flexibility can add 5 to 7 years of longevity to your portfolio, according to historical data. Second, tax bracket management, harvesting opportunities every year. The next level of optimization is year-by-year tax bracket management. The most sophisticated retirees and their advisors use tax bracket harvesting, filling up lower tax brackets each year through strategic withdrawals or Roth conversions, and avoiding spikes that push you into higher brackets. For example, if you're married and your taxable income is $80,000, you may have room to withdraw or convert another $14,300 at the 12% rate before jumping to 22%. By carefully monitoring this every year, you can save $40,000 to $100,000 in taxes over a typical 25-year retirement. It also helps you avoid higher Medicare premiums and unnecessary Social Security taxation. Third, asset location, putting the right investments in the right accounts. Here's an insider technique: asset location. This means placing your most tax-inefficient investments, like taxable bonds or RITs, in your 401k or IRA, while keeping tax-efficient growth assets, like index funds or municipal bonds, in your taxable brokerage or Roth IRA. Over time, this can boost your after-tax returns by 0.5% to 1% per year. For a $1 million portfolio, that's an extra $5,000 to $10,000 annually, money you can use for health care, travel, or legacy giving. Fourth, advanced estate planning, protecting your legacy. Once your own income needs are secure, it's time to think about legacy. The most successful retirees I've worked with use advanced estate planning tools to minimize taxes and ensure a smooth transfer of wealth to their heirs. One powerful strategy is the use of a Roth IRA for inherited assets. Because Roth IRAs are not subject to required minimum distributions during your lifetime, you can let these accounts grow tax-free for as long as possible. When your heirs inherit a Roth IRA, they can stretch withdrawals over 10 years, often paying zero tax on the growth. Another tool is the use of charitable remainder trusts or donor-advised funds, allowing you to support your favorite causes while reducing estate taxes and providing income for your heirs. A well-crafted estate plan, including updated beneficiary designations and healthcare directives, can save your family $50,000 to $200,000 in taxes, fees, and legal costs. Fifth, scaling up, coordinating with other accounts and income sources. Don't let your 401k strategy operate in a vacuum. The most affluent retirees coordinate their withdrawals with other accounts, like taxable brokerage, annuities, pensions, and even rental income. For example, you might use taxable account withdrawals early in retirement, then switch to 401k and Roth IRA distributions later, based on your tax situation and income needs. If you have a health savings account, HSA, use it for qualified medical expenses in your later years to maximize its triple tax advantage. If you own real estate, consider using rental income to cover fixed expenses, allowing your investment accounts to grow for longer. 6. Long-term health care and longevity planning. With healthcare costs rising and lifespans increasing, planning for the long term is critical. Consider setting aside a portion of your portfolio, often $100,000 to $300,000, for future healthcare costs, including potential long-term care needs. The most successful retirees I advise review their Medicare plans annually, consider supplemental coverage, and explore long-term care insurance or hybrid life long-term care policies if appropriate. By planning ahead, you can avoid having to liquidate investments at a bad time or burdening your family with unexpected costs. 7. Ongoing scam protection and cybersecurity. As your wealth grows, so does your risk of being targeted by scammers. Industry insiders know that affluent seniors are prime targets for sophisticated financial scams. Protect yourself by setting up account alerts, using strong passwords, and working only with credentialed professionals. Review your credit reports annually and consider freezing your credit if you don't plan to take out new loans. Never share account details by phone or email unless you initiated the contact, and always verify requests for money, even if they appear to come from family. Let me repeat this critical point. Next-level retirement success is about more than just avoiding mistakes or picking the right investments. It's about continuously optimizing, scaling your strategies, and thinking several years ahead. The most successful retirees I've worked with treat their financial plan as a living document, revisiting it at least once a year and making updates as their life, the markets, and the laws change. So far, we've covered dynamic withdrawal strategies, tax bracket management, asset location, estate planning, account coordination, healthcare planning, and scam protection. Each of these next-level actions can add meaningful value to your retirement, reduce stress, and help you leave a lasting legacy. As you move forward, remember that your retirement journey is unique, and your plan should reflect your values, goals, and family situation. The sooner you implement these advanced strategies, the more you can enjoy the fruits of your lifetime of hard work and smart planning. That brings us to the final step, tying everything together and ensuring you have a clear, simple action plan for the next 12 months and beyond. What I'm about to show you will surprise even experienced investors. Over the past hour, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground together. If you're still with me, congratulations. You've invested your time in valuable financial education that could save you tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over your retirement. We began by identifying the hidden pitfalls most 401k owners face, from costly tax mistakes to the risks of outliving your savings. We explored the coordinated withdrawal method, a proven approach that times your 401k withdrawals, Social Security, and tax strategies for maximum income and minimum risk. We outlined practical step-by-step implementation, mapping your expenses, optimizing your Social Security claiming age, and designing a tax-efficient withdrawal plan. We highlighted the most common mistakes retirees make, including unplanned withdrawals, early Social Security, missed RMDs, and Medicare premium surprises. Then we dove into advanced strategies, strategic Roth conversions, tax-efficient sequencing, and qualified charitable distributions. We mapped out a 90-day action timeline, addressed common roadblocks like market volatility and healthcare costs, and finally, we looked at next-level optimization, dynamic withdrawal strategies, tax bracket management, asset location, estate planning, and more. Let me emphasize this important point. The knowledge you've gained here today represents decades of experience distilled into practical guidance. In my years of helping retirees optimize their finances, I've seen these strategies transform lives, turning anxiety into confidence and uncertainty into clarity. What separates financially secure retirees from those who struggle is usually knowledge and implementation, not luck or the size of their nest egg. You're now equipped with the same insights I've seen work for thousands of retirees across different market cycles. Now that you understand each piece, here's how they work together. When you coordinate your 401k withdrawals with your Social Security claiming strategy and tax planning, you create a powerful compound effect. For example, a retiree who delays Social Security to age 70 uses their 401k for bridge income while staying in the 12% tax bracket, and strategically converts $25,000 per year to a Roth IRA can often increase their after-tax retirement income by $150,000 to $250,000 over 20 years compared to the default approach. That's not just theory. I've seen it play out in real families' lives. This is why wealthy retirees often outperform those with even higher starting balances. They use the rules to their advantage, protect their principal, and optimize every decision. When you implement these strategies together, you don't just avoid mistakes. You unlock sustainable income, lower your taxes, and create a lasting legacy for your loved ones. So, what should you do next? Here are 4 specific steps you can take within the next 30 days to start putting these insights to work for your future. Step 1. Assessment phase. First week. Start by gathering 3 essential documents: your most recent 401k and IRA statements, your Social Security benefit estimate, and a 12-month record of your household expenses. Calculate your current position by subtracting your annual expenses from your guaranteed income sources, pensions, annuities, Social Security, if already started. Identify your biggest opportunity area, whether it's delaying Social Security, optimizing withdrawals, or reducing your tax exposure. Step 2. Planning phase, second week. Create your personalized timeline based on your age, health, and retirement goals. Research the specific options we discussed, such as Roth conversions, qualified charitable distributions, or asset location strategies that apply to your situation. Document your current withdrawal and Social Security strategy, then compare it to what you've learned today. Note any gaps or areas for improvement. Step 3. Professional consultation, third week. Schedule a meeting with a qualified financial advisor, ideally one with experience in retirement income planning and tax optimization. Bring your documents and these specific questions. How can I coordinate my withdrawals and Social Security for maximum income? Should I consider Roth conversions in my current tax bracket? How will my withdrawals affect my Medicare premiums and Social Security taxation? Verify that your advisor understands these advanced strategies and is willing to review your plan annually. Step 4. Implementation begins, 4th week. Start with the lowest risk, highest impact change first. This could be setting up automatic withdrawals to stay within your target tax bracket or updating your Social Security claiming plan. Set up the systems and accounts you'll need, such as a Roth IRA for future conversions, or a cash reserve for market downturns. Begin tracking your progress with simple metrics, your withdrawal amounts, tax bracket, and projected income for the next 12 months. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. Each small improvement compounds over time. Let me pause here and address the realities. Every financial strategy carries some level of risk. The goal isn't perfection, it's optimization based on your unique situation. Most successful retirees implement these changes gradually over 6 to 12 months, reviewing and adjusting as life or the markets change. Don't let perfectionism prevent you from starting with small improvements. These aren't get-rich-quick schemes. They're proven, long-term strategies designed to help you keep more of what you've earned and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with financial security. Remember, this has been educational content designed to inform your decision-making. Every individual's financial situation is unique. What works for one person may not be optimal for another. Always consult with qualified financial and tax professionals before making significant changes. Past performance of any strategy doesn't guarantee future results, and the tax implications we discussed may change based on future legislation. While this information provides a strong foundation, professional guidance is invaluable. A qualified financial advisor can help you customize these strategies for your specific situation. Tax professionals can ensure you're maximizing benefits while staying compliant. Estate planning attorneys can help with the legal aspects we discussed, ensuring your legacy is protected for your children and grandchildren. You're now part of a community of informed retirees who refuse to settle for average. The journey to financial optimization is ongoing. Markets change, laws evolve, and your needs may shift over time. Continue your education by staying informed about retirement planning developments, and don't hesitate to revisit or refine your strategy as needed. Share your success stories and learn from others who are implementing these strategies. Your experience and wisdom, combined with these proven techniques, give you a powerful advantage. If this video helped clarify your retirement planning strategy, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more retirees find this important information. Share your biggest takeaway in the comments below. Which strategy will you implement first, or what surprised you most about the methods we covered? Subscribe for more in-depth retirement planning guidance that could save you thousands over the years. Most importantly, take action on what you've learned. Your future self and your family will thank you. You'll know you're on the right track when your financial stress decreases, your confidence increases, and you have clear answers to the questions that used to keep you awake at night. Success in retirement isn't about chasing perfection. It's about making steady, informed progress year after year. Remember, the sooner you implement these strategies, the more time they have to work in your favor. Every month you delay is a month of potential optimization lost. The cost of inaction often exceeds the cost of making imperfect but informed decisions. You now have knowledge that many retirees never acquire. Use it to your advantage. As you continue your journey, never underestimate the impact of the decisions you make today. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing you've optimized every aspect of your retirement finances. Imagine the legacy you'll leave, one of wisdom, independence, and security for your family. You've worked too hard to settle for anything less. Thank you for investing your time and trust. Take the first step today and let this be the beginning of your most secure, confident, and rewarding chapter yet.